Peut-être plus.
And finally, welcome to this episode of the New Releases Show from Variant Edition. My name is Brandon, and it has been a chaos show already. And nobody knows it but me, and Jim, and Kit, and Squee. Squee's outside for the moment, not because he's being punished or anything, but because he wanted to go outside and he was screaming. Meanwhile, I've been trying to get this up for half an hour. And I'm hoping that the video freezing right now is not an indication of what's happening. Are you still seeing me? Because it's been a time to set this up. I was a little bit a ways away from running the stream from my phone and trying to hold the phone and the comics up and whatnot. So the cats are free range this episode. I did not put them away because I've been dealing with trying to get this thing up. Don't know what was wrong. Everything seems to be working fine now. The internet was fine. My computer chugging to get things moving. I don't understand it. But this week isn't a wild week. There's really not a lot of new stuff to talk about. It's a very small week. I'm wondering if it is because I want to say America Day. The 4th of July is the day after New Comic Book Day, and I know a lot of retailers don't like having a whole bunch of stuff coming out when they're going to be closed. I don't know, but it was a very light week. I usually have at least 25% more books to put away than I did. And there wasn't really much in the way of new graphic novels either coming out. So I got a wee stack, and a lot of it is a lot of the new bargain stuff that we got in, a lot of classic variant edition favorites now at a decent price. Well, they're decent prices before, pay creators what they're worth. But you can get some deals, and you can go to our website, variantedmonton.com. We have a new bargain section up on that first page where you can page through. A lot of it is all ages stuff. I tried to focus in on a few things that I know the kiddos would like. We've got some cheap Bluey in, which is really cool. Dinosaurs, unicorns, farts, and poop. Big categories that were refilled this week. We're not going to talk about a lot of the ology stuff. We're going to talk about a few of the other things that we got in. And we may or may not be visited by cats. We have Jim sleeping right there. Squee is, like I said, outside. And Kit is free range right now in the house. I don't know where she is. It's a mystery. But, yeah, not a whole lot to talk about other than the panic trying to get this thing up and running because it was a friggin' nightmare. I'm trying to make more food for myself. So Canada Day was spent acquiring foods. I did a couple of school deliveries today. The schools are closed, so I had to set these up a bit extracurricularly. So that happened because some things came in a little bit later, and I just wanted to make sure that we got everybody as much as we could by sort of year end. Our school program, we're going to be expanding in the new year. We really want to reach out to schools and make sure that the libraries are getting some great graphic novels that all the kids are going to love, and really try and grow that program, and trying to do so with some initiatives that we'll be announcing soon, especially for schools that don't really get much of a budget for purchasing. So we really want to work through that. Now, we've got a little stacky here. It's a very little stacky. There are 3 number ones to talk about, and they're all from Marvel and DC. The first quick one is the second volume of Batman and Robin and Howard is starting to come out. This is by Jeffrey Brown, who has done a lot of great all ages stuff, including the Star Wars Academy series and various cute Star Wars books like Darth Vader and Son, Darth Vader and Daughter, all kinds of good stuff. The Batman and Robin and Howard has come out. The first volume has come out in graphic novel. This is a pre-serialized version of the second graphic novel coming out really soon. It is working alongside the new volume of Primer, and Primer, as we've talked about before, is a story about a young lady who gets powers through doing different art and whatnot through these magic inks. Is one of DC's absolute bestsellers in the graphic novel market. And from taking it to book fairs, my goodness, I could have 10 copies at a book fair and they'd all be gone, as evidenced by we've been increasing our numbers when we bring them to book fairs and they all disappear. So that's really cool. Anyways, Batman and Robin and Howard is a story about Damien and his best friend and the trouble that they get in at school mostly. And this one, Cotton Ninjas, baby. Now, the big release from DC is Absolute Power this week. This is the anchor book. This is an absolute branch shaker. I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoy how DC's helping promote it. I really enjoy that they're meeting retailers halfway in being able to get this into people's hands, which is why, if you like the pitch that I'm going to give in a little bit, we can offer these at the American price, which saves you $2 off the cover price, which is pretty good. You're only going to be spending $4.99 on this. This is DC's big event for the summer, Absolute Power. Amanda Waller has amassed, well, as much power as she needs to finally take on what she sees as the superheroic scourge and really bring a sense of order to the DC universe. Now, she has her certain means. They are not necessarily great. And the heroes really find themselves on the back foot here. What I really liked about this is not just your big superhero event, but it is also a little bit about, say, the dangers of AI and our siloed information spheres, where we're not really digging to see what's real and what's fake, whatnot. And this is what sets the stage for this book. Mark Waid and Dan Moore do an incredible job with this. Dan Moore is going to be redesigning a whole bunch of characters throughout this, and some of the outfits have been spectacular, and there's a few new villains here that do really good. So I do highly recommend this. A lot of big events, I kind of tell people, you can take it, you can leave it. For me personally, Blood Hunt right now is a big fun book, but if you're not into like superheroes fighting vampires for reasons, it's not, it doesn't really have sort of that extra layer there. And that's not necessarily bad. Sometimes you want your comics just to be the big fight book, the big event, the big idea thing. This one has, your extra little bit of societal layers to it while being that big idea, while being the big fight book. And it really got its hooks into me. You don't have to have read much of DC leading up to this at all. Just knowing that the pieces are in place to go down. And if you want a little bit more context than that, there are ways that we can help you out with that, including last week's Ground Zero one-shot. Is real good. The one and only Foley says, how did Primer sell as singles? It seems to have done well enough for them to, based off of initial numbers, offer both of these series in singles for their second volumes. I know anecdotally from us, they didn't do quite well, but I cannot, in good conscience, use our numbers from the past 3 months as a gauge of anything in terms of how they're connecting with people. Now, I personally also don't really see the purpose in the serialization, because a lot of the kids who are gravitating towards these books are really doing so in the single issue format. And it is the adults that are buying these single issues, basically. So that's what I'm seeing. But again, it's a little hard to tell given how our situation was for the first half of the year. And finally, for single issues, we got a bonkers one, friends. Carrie Andrews is back for another volume of Spider-Man Reign. Is it bonkers? Yes, it is. Why is the first Spider-Man Reign considered so wild? Well, it is a decidedly Dark Knight Returns take on the Spider-Man mythos. Really trying to pull on those sorts of stylings, but just completely off the wall. Hypno Hustler shows up. There's like a lot of darkness, a lot of sadness, and you find out that Mary Jane died from radiation poisoning because Peter Parker's whole deal is apparently radioactive, including his sperm. And so she got cancer and died. This is volume 2 of that, from a series that happened, I'm going to say a little over a decade ago, maybe 15 years ago, somewhere in between 10 and 15 years ago. And boy, howdy, is a ripped Miles Morales now part of things, as well as old as balls Peter Parker. I have yet to read this. This is a little snack for me. I do love when comics go full bonkers with no remorse. And the only way I can say this book is returning is because, folks, we're going full bonkers. There's no pretext from some of the images that I've flipped through. It is wild. It is fun. It is just a little bit off the wall. Oh, yeah. Jim's right here. She can't hear, but she can feel. And so she definitely felt that and went, huh. But for what was going to be a chaos show, all the cats are just napping. Maybe I'll let Squee in before I do this, because I'm looking for, I was feeling a bit of a chaos show leading into this to go with the vibes of setting it up. So give me 2 seconds. Let's see if the boy wants in. He did want in, but we'll see if he makes an appearance. Right now, he's on his way to see if he can't steal any of Jim's wet food. But the joke's on him. It's not on the floor, because he steals Jim's wet food. Jim needs that wet food because she's 17 and her kidneys need it. She's an old lady. All right, we have a choice selection of some of the new bargain deals that have come in the store the last couple of weeks. We are, as a store, we've always been really focusing on the graphic novel experience. That has really, even in the short time that we've been at this new location, has really blossomed at this new store. A lot of people experiencing, there we go, Chaos Show. A lot of folks experiencing the store for the first time, grabbing some fresh graphic novels, really getting into the new Piao books that we got, because Piao is still going, despite having said that they were going to stop last year. In a beautiful bit of symmetry with Bad Idea, who said they were going to stop and relaunched as Bad Idea 2. Piao has relaunched as Bad Idea 2, or not Bad Idea 2, as Piao 2. And I love them because Piao is this beautiful, very highly curated indie publisher that does some remarkable books, some remarkable print styles. I love all the little bits that they do. And then Bad Idea is sort of like a big, loud, obnoxious single issues publisher who really tries to get the details out of all their books through shenanigans. And they're on very much different ends of the spectrum, but they sure do love the same bit. And that's wonderful. Everybody. Oh. All right. We have Crushing from Sophie Burrows. Normally $28.95. You can get a copy for $14.99. It is a beautiful book. One of the things that I've been doing is I've been looking for preview pages for a lot of the things that we've been ordering. And this is absolutely gorgeous. A lot of great kind of pencil work here. Yes, that is where we should be. On screen, baby. She's lonely and searching for connection. He's lonely but afraid to reach out. But is finding someone else really the answer to their problems? Crushing is a story told in silence. A story about connections in the big city, making them and missing them and longing for them. It is very gorgeous. It's got a lot of wonderful imagery, and is a quick read because, as it says, it is a mostly silent thing without, stuff happening around folks, background noise and whatnot. And I'm super happy to see it. Let's see if we can get that focus on there. There we are. Hey, buddy. Bad Idea has not put out anything since December, when they put out a couple books then. They're definitely going through a bit of a transition zone. I know they have got a bunch of books coming up with some production and a lot of art that's been developed and shown off at different areas and whatnot. But there's a couple Kickstarters still to be fulfilled. And yeah, hopefully a new line soonish. They might skip 2024 entirely for releases other than the Hero Trade collection coming out from the Kickstarter. We have for $12.99, usually $23.49. Danger and Other Unknown Risks from the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl original creative team, Ryan North and Erica Henderson. This book came about because Erica Henderson had a contract with another writer to do a graphic novel with the fine folks at Penguin. And that writer sort of like off, disappeared. And Erica Henderson went to the publisher and was like, hey, is there anything we can do with this? And I'm like, well, you basically have an open contract. And so she contacted Ryan North and they built this. It is a wonderful book. I really enjoy it. And it also deals with sort of a lot of modern technology issues and ding-dongs online. Ding Dong's online contingent. Here's the deal. On midnight, January 1st, 2000, the world ended. But it wasn't technology that killed it. It was magic. Now, years later, Earth has transformed. Magic works, sort of. People are happy, sort of. But this new world isn't stable. And unless Marguerite Dupree and her canine pal Daisy do something about it, it'll tilt into deadly chaos. Good thing they've been training their whole lives for this and are destined to succeed. Or so they think. It is wonderful if you like the vibes of Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. If you like just fun comics that have a bit of a zany romp to it, but have a lot of heart and whatnot. But yeah, I really enjoy this book, and we have a bunch of them for a really great price. Tilly Walden, one of my favorite creators, said it was easily her favorite book of the year. We also have A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds and Danica Novgorodov. Danica Novgorodov did one of my favorite small comics. I forget what it was called, but it was basically a bear and a robot fall in love and have this kid together. And the birth of this child is extremely graphic. And it's a super weird book, but it's very sweet and loving. And I just, it remains with me. This is not that. Newbery Honor National Book Award long list was on a list for that. I'm going to look up the description because this is basically a bunch of accolades, which is, pretty huge. This was originally a novel before it was adapted into a graphic novel. So let me look up the synopsis. Preparation is always a hallmark of this show. Will's older brother, Sean, has been shot, dead. Will feels a sadness so great he can't explain it, but in his neighborhood, there are rules. Number 1, crying, don't, no matter what. Number 2, snitching, don't, no matter what. 3, revenge, do, no matter what. Bullets miss, and you can get the wrong guy. And there's always someone else who knows to follow the rules. Jason Reynolds has been tapped to do the recent Miles graphic novels from Scholastic. Is a great storyteller, telling stories usually of more minority focus, and tells them with great detail, heart, and substance. And I'm very happy to have this stocked in our store for a decent price, $9.99. And finally, we're talking about The Accidental Tsar, The Life and Lies of Vladimir Putin. Normally about a $40 book from us. Now it's $15, baby. And it is a fascinating read. I've actually only read the first half of this. And honestly, if it's any indication, this is a must read for anybody who wants to know a little bit of the context of Putin. In the West's collective imagination, Vladimir Putin is a devious cartoon villain, constantly plotting and scheming to destroy his enemies around the globe. But how did an undistinguished mid-level KGB officer become one of the most powerful leaders in Russian history? And how much of Putin's tough guy persona is a calculated performance? In Accidental Tsar, Andrew S. Weiss, a former White House Russia expert, and Brian Box Brown show how Putin has successfully cast himself as a cunning, larger-than-life political mastermind, and how the rest of the world has played into the Kremlin's hands by treating him as one. They shatter all of the myths and expose the man behind the facade. It is brilliant. All right, folks, that is all we're talking about today. I'm gonna skip the magic mirror today because I'm sleepy and a little cranky, and I got some things to do. I haven't eaten yet because the beauty of store post holiday Monday is you can't pick up some of your shipment until pretty late. Image stuff is not going to be in until tomorrow afternoon, which the good part is we're starting to get our FedEx deliveries, which is where image comes from, fairly early in the day. So that's good instead of it showing up at like 5 p.m. Boof. It was never good when that happened. And we're going through that. This is a lighter week of comics, so I do highly recommend you check out a lot of our bargain stuff for some really cool deals. All the weeks in this month will be a little lighter because it's a 5-week Wednesday month, baby. So if you're looking for a little something extra to spice up your purchases this week or any week, we can help you out with that. And other than that, it is the beginning of the month, so we'll be running some cards on Thursday if you got your payment information with us and we haven't seen you within a month. And working out some delivery details. So keep an eye on some stuff. We have some new shelves that are being constructed. We're going to be running the Dungeon of Deals for one more week. I know I said we're going to end it at the end of June. I'm not ready. I don't have all the shelves yet to move everything around. So figure instead of things just sitting there not discounted, they're still discounted. Enjoy going through those one more time before we wrap up the Dungeon of Deals and start moving everything into their at least initial places that they'll be in the store. All right. So from me, from Squee, from Jim. Oh, you see her ears. Yes. From Kit, her little loaf pan over yonder. I hope you are all having a great week. I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you have good times coming up. And we will talk to you all again soon. Bye.